Guys, it's your boy Alternative Voice yet again. I just want y'all to know that there are certain people who should not be allowed to own guns, and those people are called prisoners. Everybody else in this country should be allowed to own a gun, a firearm, a piece, a gat, a weapon, whatever you want to call it. I am a Second Amendment absolutist. And I think that if somebody is too dangerous to own a gun in society, they shouldn't be in society at all. You know, they say, oh, but what about convicted felons and all that stuff? I'm like, once they've served their time and paid their dues to society and they're free, they should be allowed to own guns again. Because you see, the thing is I don't really put much faith in the legal system. I know quite a few felons, and it's very, very easy to become a felon. Open up your dead grandma's mail just to pay the electric bill. That's tampering with the mail. That's a felony. And there's just so much other stuff. Like, you know, if you hack somebody's Facebook account or whatever, that's a felony. If you mail the wrong thing, that's a felony. If it just goes with a lot of shit. Oh, and if you take a picture of yourself while you're a minor of you naked, that's child pornography. That's a felony. And there's just, you know, the list can just go on and on and on and on and on and on, you know? And, oh, but what about people with mental illness? They have a right to defend themselves too. And they say, oh, but what about the suicides? It's like, we need to work on getting these people help, not taking their guns away and saying, oh, well, screw you. Figure it out by yourself. Red flag laws are some bullshit. The Gun Control Act of 1968 is bullshit. The National Firearms Act is bullshit. I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. I believe we should be allowed to have belt-fed machine guns, anti-material rifles, and RPGs. And the government just has no right to tell people what they can and can't defend themselves with. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What part of that don't you fucking understand? Yeah, I'm swearing. I've already been, I can't be monetized now, but I don't really care. I'm trying to get my message out. You see, there are some people going, oh, but what about law enforcement? Won't they protect us? Those corrupt, incompetent, cowardly fucks. You think they're going to protect you? I got a few words for you. Uvalde, Stoneman Douglas High, Columbine, Pulse nightclub. Look that shit up. And hell, the cops are just licensed crooks these days, you know? It's been that way for a good while now. Did you know that they don't even have a duty to protect us? And don't take my word for it, the Supreme Court has ruled it numerous times. They're not even pretending that they're there to protect and serve anymore. And, oh, and by the way, you can get mad at the cops at Uvalde or at Stoneman Douglas High or wherever for doing nothing while children got slaughtered. But technically, it wasn't in the job description. Scott Peterson, the school resource officer at Stoneman Douglas High, he was found not guilty. Because, I mean, what can you charge him with? He wasn't obligated to protect those kids, you know? Just that simple. You can hate him all you want, but it wasn't his job. And, anyway, it's just that, you know, you can live in blissful ignorance and all that shit, but it's not going to save you. Law enforcement is not going to save you. It's just that simple. I don't trust law enforcement to protect me. And I'm trying to make sure that everyone has a right to protect themselves. I am a Second Amendment absolutist. And the whole concept of FUD, look, guys, there's a difference between being old school versus being a FUD. There's nothing wrong with being old school. I know some older guys who have M1911s and M1 Grands, and hell, even today, those things have certain advantages over more modern service rifles and handguns and things like that. It's like, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I believe you should be able to have pretty much any handheld weapon you want. That I just do, you know? Because when the Founding Fathers wrote the Second Amendment, they intended for us to have cannons in our fucking barns. And, you see, and as far as FUDs go, I regard FUDs as people who believe gun rights for me and not for thee. I believe very strongly in that. You know, if you can have 511 pants and all the modern cutting edge firepower you want, but if you believe that, like, you know, felons shouldn't be able to own guns, people with mental illness shouldn't be able to own guns, if you believe that, you know, all that stuff, that if you believe gun rights for me and not for thee, I don't care if you're old school or if you've got the latest and greatest gear, you are a FUD. Plain and simple. And, but it's just, I'm not making this video for myself. I'm making it for everybody. I'm making it for America. And people go, oh, you can't beat the United States military if the government becomes tyrannical. You can't beat the police department if the government becomes tyrannical. What about the Taliban? What about the Viet Cong and the NVA? They did it. See, that's the thing. Guerrillas have been beating superpowers since the end of World War II on a pretty consistent basis. The French lost in Vietnam and Algeria. The U.S. lost in Vietnam and Afghanistan. The Soviets lost in Afghanistan. And Russia later lost in Chechnya, the first war. There is also, for example, Israel and Lebanon in the 80s. They were there for until like 2000. And they lost to Hezbollah, which was a guerrilla force. And the Chinese also lost to the Vietnamese. So, yeah, insurgencies have been winning pretty consistently. And you see, I just thought I'd let you all know that everyone who is not in prison or jail should be allowed to own a gun. It's just that simple. And I'm making this video to fight for everybody watching this and everybody not watching this. You can dislike my video, you can leave me a nasty comment. I'm still going to fight for your rights. I'm a First and Second Amendment absolutist. And that's what I do. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be good, y'all. Peace.